I'd been searching for Murton Street everywhere, but every time there was an important ingredient missing. Riesling Court was a cheap wine. Merrill Street couldn't act the part. Henry Street was no king, and I was chronically asking what's eating Gilbert Crescent. The 5 vertical veins of iodide, oxide, chloride, sulfide and bromide were pulsing. I felt the funneled wind of the South Road vortex pulling me down. Meanwhile, Blend was wiggling its hips, enticing a revisit to repertory by exiting stage left. Cummins Street was first on the manifest. I buckled myself into the vessel and floated down Oxide Street's river. I looked ahead and saw how the milky vanilla sky dissolved into the skyscraper-sized hills in the distance on the horizon. As I stared at the background, the approaching intersection in the foreground began to pulse. There, breaking out from behind the buildings in full, rich view, the Emperor himself, Argent Street, left streaks across the milky sky as it flowed. It was like an unstoppable force colliding with an immovable object in Oxide Street. Argent wasn't interested in where I was going. Argent only cared that I kept moving. I crossed this Argent Oxide nexus point with a euphoric rush. For a brief moment, time stopped. And then reality seemed to fast forward again to catch up to where I was passing the Silver City Cinema and Blend Street, approaching the great beyond. Gradually, the low-rise commercial industry gave way to car washes, fish and chip stores, a funeral parlour, and other little businesses that dotted the river. This was the real Broken Hill. Past the spine of William Street, the residential pockets could emerge, hyacinths in the bucket, the vineyard pub with a calm demeanour, and the Victorian essence gushing down the northern hills. After the slow boat to Hades, I found myself moored at Cummins Street, the road glittering as it was spilling over the hill. This was the address. I looked down at the package in my hands. It was an old Apple operating system, Mac OS 8. This felt hauntingly familiar.